This is a place on which endless pages and films have been spent. But no writer or director can tell you about India in a single work. Understanding this country is difficult, even for those who have lived there for months and years. Perhaps it is also difficult for the Indians themselves. In the same territory, you can find the most ancient forms of worship and the most modern brains families who live like 5,000 years ago, and kids who live in 2010. Like in the city of Bangalore, defined as the Silicon Valley of Asia, it is said of great civilizations already in the 6th millennium BC. And since then, ethnic groups from Africa, Indochina, Turkey, Mongolia, and above all the Aryans from Central Asia have settled there, who in 2500 BC established the great civilization of the Indus. The various immigrations have coexisted and infected each other for millennia without destroying each other, and thus generating a mix of cults, religions, languages, traditions, and customs to make the most fragmented place on earth. I met an Italian who lives in Delhi, Elena, who has literally dedicated her life to India. And she told me, "When I think I have understood it, something always happens that proves me wrong." It looks like something out of an Indian movie. It would be presumptuous if I took the liberty of explaining all of India to you after just one trip. What you are about to see is my human experience that for the first time crosses a much sought-after border. I will try to condense my time as much as possible during the trip to talk to people who live here and who can teach you much more than toy or tune even a book, and thus arrive at the end of the trip with the knowledge of at least a little piece of this country, of this great civilization. My trip will start from the capital and will continue without a direction other than that which will be advised to me by the meetings. This time, I will not have the presence of my travel and life companion for a small, immense commitment, and so I will take it all in my face, as the first journey to discover India should be. Even before opening your eyes and observing what surrounds you. It is the din of the horns that remind you of having arrived in one of the great Asian cities. Here in Delhi, you have to immediately be enveloped by the chaos without resisting, but controlling your guide in the new world as best as possible and understanding its rules. Because even chaos has its own.
Fabrizio.
Cluster.
Classic.
Cluster.
Oh, nice.
Vai. Che loro non si fermeranno mai.
They will never stop.
Nemmeno il SUV. Niente. Borda.
They collide.
Contro. Vai.
Not even a hint of "oh go" or "no, I'm going."
The first thing you have to do when you buy a scooter is change the horn. Yes, make it louder. Do you think it's a normal clone here? They do purr.
Okay, thank you.
They talk with the horn. Oh, go right, go left. Stop, go forward. Yes, everything. I mean, we use it as a last resort when someone is really an idiot. You sound at them here. Instead, they talk. Delhi is not just klaxon chaos and poverty. The city contains 28 million inhabitants of all extractions and origins, defining it as one of the most cosmopolitan cities on the planet.
If you go around the various areas of Delhi, you will find some big differences. This can already give you a mirror of what India can be like in general. No, I mean Delhi is a big metropolis. Among other things, it is also the capital. And you can find yourself in the middle of a lot of Islam, like shanty towns. No, and in the middle of very expensive neighborhoods where you pay rents of the equivalent of 4,000 euros, 3,000 euros a month for apartments with 3 bedrooms. We are not talking about villas or anything like that, so there is a lot of poverty. But we must consider that about 80% of the population still lives in rural areas. So rural areas are not rich. Well, no, they are rural areas. It still remains that the poor class is really very poor, eh? However, it is decreasing. Then India has billionaires, i.e., people who have a very high purchasing power, like us millionaires. And so here in India, they make more than I believe the whole population of Italy put together. Our naivety a bit. Like India is all spiritual. We think Indians are all poor. When I came the first time, there were lots of bicycles, lots of Vespas, and small utility cars, and the old ambassadors, which were the cars of the English. Now the bicycles have been replaced not by Vespas but by motorbikes. And then those who rode motorbikes go into utility cars. Those who went into utility cars go into a better car. Those others go into SUVs. You see the Ferraris, the Porsches, the Jaguars, the Audis go by as if it were raining. And so you understand that things have changed just from this.
Despite the general growth, 2/3 of the population still lives on 2 euros a day, and almost half of the wealth is in the hands of 1%. This division in broad terms can be identified with the old city, Old Delhi, and the new city, New Delhi, that was designed by English architects during the colonization that lasted about a century and ended in 1947. The set of the two cities with other peripheral districts make up the capital, simply called Delhi. I also made a very short excursion in the richest part, finding it terribly boring, similar to our cities. In my days in Delhi, I preferred to dive into those 2/3 of the poor population, where the hardships, the fatigue, the decadent and smelly environment leads man to have to bring out all of humanity: ingenuity, imagination, stories, smiles, fuck yous, the art of living. Every feeling that is hidden in us is manifest here, and makes everything so cynically spontaneous that it envelops you. You don't feel like a spectator like when you look at a colonial building, but you are sucked in. For a few days, you eat from their dirty plates with inevitable intestinal consequences. You are stunned by the noise, you sweat, you breathe smog, you breathe the smell of waste like all Indians. And all this will seem strange, but it envelops you and makes you feel like one of them for a few days.
Thank you, my friend.
This street slowly fills up completely with goods and people. They don't get up very early in the morning. Some sleep right here, and some others maybe arrive and then throw themselves down to eat or sleep waiting for the real movement of the city to begin. Now it's 7. Slowly the streets fill up, the first traffic jams begin, and the decibels increase. Here it's blocked. Then they cross like this. These come from the left. These come from the right, and they stay for a quarter of an hour now to decide who has to pass, how they have to pass. He goes back. He unloads from truck to truck. Kilometers of markets like this. Then these arches appear, and you enter another world.
C'è un altro mondo.
Here, for example, they sell bolts. Here is the hardware store street. You get to the end, turn, and another situation opens up that ends with the houses. I think I'm in someone's house, so I go back. It's an incredible labyrinth. Here it's closed.
Torno indietro. Sì. Ma si prova. È un labirinto incredibile così. No? Is it close? No. Close? Okay.
You see people going back and forth with sack stones, wood. I'm getting lost. I don't know where I am anymore.
Non so nemmeno dove.
The city is crowded and becomes a huge open-air market. But here, you don't come to buy and sell and then go back home here. You live and eat. This beautiful woman looks at her preparing a ciapati.
Prepara un ciapati. Che è questo. Gira, ta. Poi mette olio di burro. E mi dà questo sughino qua. E ora io mi metterò a mangiare questa roba con le mani. €1.
We wash ourselves. We stay in company. We pray. We work all together, men and animals, becoming everything madly alive. Within a frame of picturesque and decaying homes. Where the electricity is do-it-yourself. The water is not drinkable, and there are no containers for waste. Hello, this is the school. These are teachers. These are teachers. These are the benches.
Sono I banchini.
He's from
You are teacher?
Italy.
Are you teacher?
Yeah. She is also teacher. Then all our kids.
Wow. Hello. Good morning.
No, all stand up. It doesn't matter.
Sit down, please. Thank you. Bye.
1.578 divided by 5,000. In my days in Delhi, I also visited monuments, places of worship such as temples and mosques, and it is known to be the most important piece of India, which I will talk about in the next episodes. What is little known about India is how ambiguous, rough, complicated, often deceptive it is, with many needy people and many crafty people who try to remedy their needs with deception.
People hungry. You food. Waste money. They go to stay in the hotel for €100.
C'è quella mia amica che è stata imbrogliata, forse te l'avevo detto a te, per €1.700.
1.578 divided by 5,000. And so, even a simple day that involves moving from one city to another can become an adventure. Let's go. I choose to go south and stop in Vrindavan. The idea is to go to Varanasi, the city where every Hindu would like to die. A girl from Florence lives there, with whom I am in contact. And it is she who suggests that I stop in Vrindavan, the holy city where Krishna grew up.
You ticket booking?
No. Bye. Ciao.
The plan for the day is to look for an ATM and then go to the train station to buy a ticket to Mathura. From there, with a tuk-tuk move to Vrindavan and look for a place to sleep.
You ticket booking?
No. Bye.
But I should have understood from that smile that it was too optimistic to have a program like that in just one day in India. And in fact, they tried to scam me.
Sono tutti esperti in questo tipo di truffe.
There is anarchy in the queue. It doesn't work. I'm staying in Delhi today too. Luckily, there is this guy who helps me. It's evening and I haven't found a place to sleep yet.